are really the ones to be feared in the Legend group.
It's very true, and HLE still up there right now. As let's have a look to see what NONGSHIM have prepared for us. I think on the other side of the coin, I think like you say, it's a great opportunity for NONGSHIM if they can find a victory here. But HLE could use this as a springboard to find some of that form once again. Because as you say, everyone in the group is terrifying, unfortunately except NONGSHIM.
Well, that's the thing is I talk about, when I say top 2, I keep thinking Gen G T1, but you're right, HLE are still in that top 2, but it, in their current form doesn't feel like it right now. We do get quickly in the draft. We actually see the Taliyah and the Vi immediately banned away. The Taliyah responded immediately with that Azir ban away, that trade-off. Varus not being banned away yet though, but the Pantheon does come through.
Yeah, I wonder what this necessarily means. Maybe it's just an R3 ban for the Varus.
Oh, respect ban. I mean, especially with Taliyah off the cards, who's often can do a good job of shutting down Rakan, giving a lot of respect over Delight, taking away that Rakan. A lot of junglers left open and available though, even with a Vi and Pantheon gone, but they're immediately going for the Gwen for Kingen.
I feel like this is bait, man. I feel like Gwen has had, like, she's gone through a lot as far as the changes are concerned, but this pick exists. And now you can Aurora Wukong, and I don't know how Kingen really gets to have any fun at all.
And Zeus, of all the top laners in the league, is so willing to play ranged top laners.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think Keen has been a phenomenal Aurora from the time the champion came out, but ranged top laners in general has been Zeus' forte. So definitely comfortable to pick this up. Obviously, in theory, could be a flex, but I think you're picking this to match into the Gwen. The Wukong comes out, one of our highest win rate champions on the patch. And we see them considering the option off the rise. Obviously, could lean up towards the top side of the map and also apply some pressure to maybe mitigate what this Gwen can do.
That would be a choice. Think about the amount of CC for the top lane that they'd have in that 2v2.
Yeah, not sure any of these are going to come through. Zinzar probably the most likely option. That double circles with the Gwen does provide a very threatening front line. Now we see what the options are for mid lane.
Okay, just
Orianna. Does combo decently well with the Wukong.
And you do have a little bit of that range advantage in lane against the Rise as well. I feel like Orianna, over time, has been okay into this matchup.
Yeah, and now looking towards the bot lane, so some of the big picks still open and available. Obviously, the Alistair still on the cards. We heard Trigger talk about the Corki being a bit of a favorite, but Kai'Sa has historically been a big one for him. Yep. In fact, when he was playing in the LPL, was one of his highest win rate picks.
The only champion he's ever got a pentakill on as well.
Oh, there you go.
Interestingly enough.
Nautilus comes out as a pretty quick ban, not something we'd necessarily always expect.
It's the Lehen's tax. I think generally, like, the second round of bans is always where the Lehen's tax is paid.
Yeah, stuff like at least we tend to see. Nico's still open and available, though, I think is also with looking maybe just in general.
Oh, that would be... Imagine if HLE got Nico as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But I think Alistair too.
Disgusting.
Maybe like Alistair Nico ban from NONGSHIM could be worthwhile.
I'd like to see it, because otherwise I think you're giving a little bit too much power over. The cow has been addressed. Let's see whether that Nico does get a look as well. As NONGSHIM, I think paying respect to the Rakan of Delight as well is a really good one. But the unfortunate thing is that Delight just plays a lot of things real good. And so he's probably not too upset about it. One final ban to come through here for HLE.
I feel like there's so many 80 carries open that it's really hard to get to the ban a specific 80 carry and feel like you've answered any particular problems.
Yeah.
So they're just banning away the supports right now.
Leona is a really interesting one.
That kind of makes me think the Nico, because Leona is often picked into the Nico because when you Zenith Blade, it goes through the clone.
Yeah, true.
You know, the clone's very good at blocking things like a Nautilus dredge line, but doesn't really do much against Leona. So sometimes we see Leona sort of picked into Nico. So maybe they're trying to either bait the Nico ban or just wanting to go the Nico themselves. So I wonder if NONGSHIM will ban that Nico as a result.
I think it would be a good idea. I wonder whether that then just means... Okay, never mind. So Nico is left up. I was thinking that maybe a rel angle could happen there as well, but not going to be the case as the Sivir is taken away instead. Viper finding some success on this one, I'm pretty sure. At least he's played it. No, he hasn't. He hasn't actually played it at all so far in the LCK since he made his way back.
So I think Poppy, Nico are some of the big picks that are left open and available. I don't think Brom's going to be picked up by HLE here because they did ban... surprisingly, I mean, they go for the Lucian. It's surprising they banned Nautilus, Leona, and are prioritizing Lucian here.
Yeah.
Considering Brom is so good into those. But they will pick that up. NONGSHIM here could go for the Corki themselves. Could even go something like... I mean, they could go Kai'Sa Nico, but it's a bit of a rough lane. Senna's open, but it's kind of fallen off in terms of prio, and you could have a tough time in lane. Looks like they will go for that Corki Trigger talked about in the interview before the match.
Not too surprising there. Of course, fits in the composition as well. I think when you're hitting that 2-item spike, the Rise is also hitting his. I think you'll have like some decent items on Gideon as well. I think around the mid-game, they will be able to fight relatively well. The Lehens, what are we going to be playing here? If they do want more engage, the Rel is up and available, but if you're staring down the barrel of a Braum, maybe you just pick it, but instead, it is that Rel that I was talking about prior, and that will be locked away. So Delight looking for that B section, and there is the Braum.
Will just be the Braum in the end. So interesting the fact that they banned specifically the Nautilus Leona and then went the Braum, you know, because I feel like the Rel handles the matchup a bit better than those two comparatively.
Yeah.
But maybe was trying to not give away their intentions. A lot of mind games. But so far, you know, I think a lot of dive potential on the side of HANWHA Life Esports with that top side that they have. And the
Foot of the Rift here for game number 1.
생성까지 30초 남았습니다.
All right, HANWHA fans pretty loud here in Lol Park today, but the Noodles not shy either. And let's see, as we are getting legendary. Here now, second matchup of the day. Trigger making his re-debut after 5 years. We haven't seen him, and did play a little bit for NONGSHIM Academy before. He has now been called up. So let's just see whether he can prove himself. A huge opportunity for the guy. He's 24 years old. It's a little bit older than a lot of the players that have been debuting more recently, as we've had some young guns show up. A little bit of a different story here, as Trigger looking to try and hit his stride, perhaps a little later than a lot of our other players have.
Yep.
And he's doing it on the Corgi as well, which is a fantastic thing to do.
Got the right skin. That's the first step.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's hit by a Winter's Bite and a Piercing Light, so welcome to the LCK there, Trigger. Crashdown does come on through, but Lehens not really finding the targets here, as Delight just moves towards the alcove.
Yeah, it can be a really dangerous lane to play into. You know, there's a lot of upfront CC from the Rel and burst damage from the Corki, but those extended trades because of the CC from the Braum and the Lucian trading power. Very scary.
Very aggressive barrier being used there. Viper cleansing the exhaust, which I think he could have probably just walked away, but instead trying to keep up that pressure for as long as possible.
Yeah, just all combat summoners just exchanged immediately. And it feels like we've seen this to a degree where like we exchanged the early summoners for pressure, but this has been like the most extreme example where it's like level 1, everyone's using their summoners. It's a real handshake scenario. And slight edge in favor of HLE with the push prio and Trigger being a little bit lower in health.
As Viper with a relentless pursuit getting out of the way of the Frost Bomb. And NONGSHIM just doing their best to weather the storm, as we can see. Really feels like Viper and Delight are putting on a bit of a clinic as far as the amount of pressure they're trying to put on, but it's not exactly giving them all that many advantages. Calyx down to 50% health in this lane so far, up against Zeka, who's playing a pretty aggressive Orianna damage-wise in these trades, but it's not really showing up in the CS numbers or anything like that just yet.
Yeah, Orianna, not so fun to play into. Fact, she has so much trading power.
That's an owie.
Yeah.
I give that an owie.
Yeah, Calyx trying to focus on the wave, Zeka trying to focus on Calyx.
Yeah. Might need to focus on this cannon minion that really did bop Zeka for a while there.
I think Calyx got enough gold to reset by a tier and get back into lane, so not too much of a concern.
But now full health here for Viper and Delight, as Trigger still sitting on 50%. Wanted to try and lifesteal as much as he can with his Doran's Blade, but it's slow going at best. As Peanut looking for an early dive situation here, as Kingen is in so much trouble. He did have a ward, but it's a bit of a see your death ward as over he goes. Oh, Q going to miss. It's going to be 2 more autos, but the tank was there And Zeus able to just make it easy for Peanut. That dive about as elementary as you can get.
So well played. Zeus first want to take aggro. Peanut, when he gets aggro at the end, still has a W to get away. He didn't have to burn flashes there.
The flash forward here from Delight as that's a couple more autos. The piercing light is going to get it for Viper, and now Lahens just having to beg his former AD carry to not kill him. And I don't know whether he's going to get his wish. Never mind. He will be able to make it underneath the safety of his turret. But man, 2v2 kill there as well to augment this already pretty good early game for HLE.
Yeah, this is such a big start for HLE in this one. The fact they have that early kill in the top lane, but also getting rewarded in the bot side. Just so low already. This is going to happen with the matchup. And then Zeus, he takes the aggro, communicated so well, just gets the auto off, doesn't find the Q, but then Peanut finishes it, W's out, only takes one tower hit for his worries, and then Trigger here. You know, Lahens goes aggressive, burns a CC, gets stunned, and then Delight with the flash Q to find it. So much confidence, and they knew that, like, even though there was no cleanse on Viper, Lahens only had his W to respond, and he could just flash over it.
It was beautifully played. Does mean that there's no flashes towards that bottom side. Trigger and Lahens, neither of them used theirs. So that might be a opportunity for Gideon to make something happen.
I feel like it's
they might require it though.
Braum Lucian, you know, obviously quite aggressive lane, but also you both have dashes, so it's you have to be pretty overextended to be super vulnerable.
Yeah, that's true.
Result.
And it's almost like you get Lucian's dash because then he dashes and then the Braum dashes and then it's everyone safe and happy.
Not the easiest lane to gank, and also very strong in skirmishes. This trio of the Wukong, Lucian, Braum, you cannot opt into fighting that. If there's any doubt that Peanut is there, Gideon does not want to be involved.
Yep.
Because if you commit in and you get Braum passive applied to you and the Wukong turns up, it's over for you.
And it's also that first blood going over to Peanut as well is such a big deal. An accelerated Wukong, this is the kind of Wukong that we get really scared of. I think that some of the Wukongs over this week and the end of last week were a bit more muted than the ones we were seeing earlier on. And I think it's because the accelerated Wukong situation, when he hits that Trinity Force early, it can get so incredibly scary.
Yep.
And that's sort of where Peanut is heading for now. Does have his Pahage completed.
I feel like he just becomes such an obnoxious pick because he's got so much team fighting power. He's so slippery. But like you combine his team fighting power and his hardness to like lock down his mobility with him being fed and doing damage and being hard to kill. It's just, yeah, problematic. And now, looking for a potential fight. Peanut just wants to scuttle crab his team.
A little bit of a 4v4. There's the flash in from Lahens. The exhaust down onto Peanut, but the flash out from Gideon will spell his demise. And that's another kill going over to Viper. Concussive blows are just so broken as Lahens will get evacuated thanks to the Realm Warp, but HLE full control of every part of the map right now.
Such a miscalculation because not only are you going for the Wukong, hard to pin down and still had that flash, but Peanut secured the scuttle, which gave him level 6. So he just pops his ult, disrupts the dive onto him, and the turnaround was so swift. And as you said, the concussive blows, so powerful in those sort of skirmishes.
This is looking like an HLE trying to find a bit of return to form here as Lahens, he's the one that just used his flash. You can understand why they're going to be trying to engage onto him, but concussive blow's not going to go off there just yet. We're going to have a look at this fight one more time.
So Peanut, level 5 now, actually smites and gets level 6.
Oh my god.
Is then able to ult, and as soon as that happens, the fight is just over. And the only silver lining for NONGSHIM is that they only lost one member.
Yep.
Because of the Realm Wolf from Calyx, but just an absolute disaster of a play attempt. And, you know, we were talking before about Viper and Delight not having flashes. They would be infinitely better targets.
Oh dear. King in, going aggressive here. Zeus going to have to pop to the other side of the world. We'll be able to do so.
Zeus toying with the idea of, can I kill him? And he was like, no, I'll play it safe.
I mean, I have flash, but so does he. So it's a little bit of a scary situation here, Zeus. Zeus has made those plays in the past, but...
full snip charges. I'm not sure. What are they called?
Yeah, we'll go snip charges.
Yep. Well, he had full snip charges. I think not wanting to play a dangerous game with them. And when you're 20 CS ahead already in the matchup with an assist as well, why would you?
Yep.
Why would you chance it?
Well, that is going to be the grub secured here by NONGSHIM. All three of them, in fact, going over to Gideon. Peanut not looking very interested in heading over there. Instead, just wants to hoover up his jungle. And has pretty comfortably been doing that. Has retained a bit of a camp lead throughout this entire game. And so still sitting 2 camps ahead. 1-0-1 now on the Wukong, very close to that Trinity Force that we were talking about. And the first dragon is an Ocean. It's been up for quite a while.
And so often
really looked at it yet.
About Sundered Sky, how broken it is, that one item spike with the Xin Zhao, how much impact you can have. But now when you're behind the curve, you miss out on those spikes that are, you know, those key early fights that being like a driving force of this champion's success. So, unfortunate.
Zeus is going to do a lot of damage here, and Peanut moving over as well. Cyclone going to get that knockup, but Kingen making it to the safety of his turret. Still a lot of pressure, and the flash is now down on this Gwen. Man, life is so hard in this lane, I swear.
Yeah, I mean, this is sort of lane where if Aurora really messes up, maybe you can find a window, but not when you don't have flash and Aurora does. And yeah, So taking the flash in this situation just means the kill pressure for Kingen is non-existent now.
Well, this is also a difficulty, as Viper with the culling is just going to layer it into Lehenz's back. The Magnus Storm comes down, but it's a bit late, and it's still the death of this Rel. Trigger has to get the hell out of there, and HLE's bottom lane is just running away with this game. There's a Shockwave in the mid lane as well, as Zeka really ramping up these autos. Does almost get the kill with that dissonance. Calyx, probably time to get out of here. And it's going to spell time here for HLE to take this first dragon.
I feel like we're just struggling. Just trying to find somewhere on the map where it just doesn't look horrific for NONGSHIM right now. And it's like the camera's panning.
Yeah.
There's
It's like Jonas Strong is looking for the stuff that's safe to show on broadcast. And he's like, I don't know. I can't. No, not here. Not here. Oh, not here. Not here.
I did see a cute little frog in the river. Maybe
That's
just
zoom
in
the
on
ducky.
that.
We need the ducky as well.
Yeah.
The ducky's really cute. That one's great. Look at this little statue up here. Looks like a koala.
Oh!
Isn't that cute? Let's move up to that. I don't want to see the Gwen
that
versus
is
Aurora
cute.
anymore.
I never noticed that.
Right?
Oh, no.
No, this is less cute.
We should have stuck to the koala.
Look at the little. There's a little dragon though in the corner.
Oh, that is cute.
Top right. Isn't that one cute?
That's adorable. Oh, wait.
Oh no, we can't see it anymore. Oh no, we have to look at the play. Oh dear.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, the koala's back though. There's always something to look at.
Yep. Learning a lot about these little features of the Rift that I've never really paid that much attention to.
That's why it's so cool that we get like these new rifts throughout the year.
Yeah, I've been missing out.
Yeah, we get like all these little extra secrets.
Little bonuses.
Very, very cool.
Now I'm like peering in. I'm like looking out.
Yeah, what's the next thing? There's a sword. Is that Excalibur? I don't know.
Oh, there's another little like dragon there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I do like these little pools.
I wish there was like a frog bathing in them.
This is less fun for Calyx. Taken down to 50%, but that is just a bit of a softening with the culling here.
Yeah, just a light, little tenderizing.
Yeah, bit of a dusting, perhaps. It's all right. Peanut looking for another angle. There's Delight up here as well. Zeus not too far up. Still just doing fine. You got Zeus. Zeka in the side lane as well. Farming up against the Rise. Lehen's just trying to find somewhere to, you know, do engage support things, but it's getting more and more difficult to do so.
And this mid lane matchup's just starting to go really bad, especially the Luden spike for Zeka. Oh, yeah.
Well, Shockwave going to pull back the Pirate Man. As Teleport comes in from Delight, he's just looking for a way back onto the Rift.
He's just there for moral support.
Indeed. And when everything's just winning so much, that's all you really need to be.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Viper might be face checking. Never mind. Shattering Strike will connect there as the Magnus Storm comes down. They get the flash out from Viper. That's good news as Trigger almost just dies in this 2v1. Going between worlds for Zeus here as the needlework's going wide. And now everything's gone wrong in the mid lane. Peanut will just settle for the kill on Lehens. That's going to be his second of the game. You can see a bit frustrated in the player cam as HLE look to grab some more plates as there's the flash forward. Delight just says you're not allowed to be here, buddy. Welcome back to the LCK. There is a lot for you to learn.
No, I feel like maybe we've been too harsh on the engaged Braum because Delight's selling me on it, right? He's been making some progress with it in this game, flashing onto Trigger. As you said, this reintroduction to the LCK not going so similarly so far, but I don't think you can really blame him for this one. NONGSHIM just on a rough receiving end here. Viper not opting to cleanse the Q here, ends up flashing out, sidesteps the big one, and then Delight comes in. And as if that couldn't get bad enough, the follow-up is here from Peanut as well. Lens knows he's going down, there's nothing he can do. Then the fact that Trigger ends up staying around, Delight decides to finish him off with a Q flash.
Yeah. That's a legal type move. And I think message was received loud and clear as NONGSHIM are looking to steal away a red buff here. I don't know whether Delight's happy about that, as he doesn't have his ultimate. But there is an Aurora in the area. Peanut's making his way up as, oh dear. He shows them the door. Peanut's going to get turned on though. This could be a danger as he does use the Warrior Trickster to try and get out, but it's not going to allow him to escape. And Gideon's going to lock that one down. That shockwave onto 2 is so good out of Zeka though. And alongside the culling, they are just going to massacre them. Peanut did fall down. He's been doing that a bit so far this season, as there's some snips for Kingen as he grabs one on the back end. But Zeus not wanting to let him leave. Concussive blows there as the Braum still helping, even though he's off screen. Zeus, yeah, he's even got a command protect there to help him out. Kingen just doing the best he can, but it's just not going to be enough. And Zeus will lock down that kill. Calix says, this is way better. Why don't I just stay away from the enemy team for the rest of the game?
I think Calix made the right call. I think that was the best decision in this situation. They end up committing to this play. They have the TP in as well. They look for Peanut, but they're kind of corralled in this situation, locked in. And the punish comes through. This shockwave gets a good amount of value. Viper culling as well, chunking them down. They end up a little bit danger close on the Gwen and the Xin Zhao. Viper does at least. But they're kind of locked into this situation. We see Zeus hop over the wall to follow up. And as you said, the concussive blows allows the chase down.
Yeah, it's a little bit rough here, as Kingen just was out of buttons, and Zeus just feeling very comfortable, able to lock down that kill.
They could have got the red buff, so...
True, they killed Peanut.
I mean, it's something.
There you go.
Yeah, it didn't really pan out super successfully overall.
And at 16 minutes, a 5,000 gold lead is a big number.
It is. It is. It is. That is.
So, sometimes the play-by-play's job is to just, you know, say the obvious thing, okay?
At least they got some kills on the board. You know, if you look at the gold graph, there was those little dips.
It's a bit undulating, you're right.
Oh, that tower's pretty low. They could look for that. That tower's also pretty low. That's gone.
Bounty
Top
gold.
tower also pretty
Bounty gold, right? All right, Zeus going to make a circle, try and get himself to the other side of it. Will be able to do so. Trigger going to be chasing after him here. Zeus still does a fair bit of damage, but there is the rocket. Oh, no! Oh, that is such a gimme.
He was like 10 HP.
That is so unfortunate here for Trigger, as Lahan's not wanting to let him get away with it, but unfortunately he has got away with it.
As well, if they'd gotten that kill, I mean, they got a lot of gold from these towers. If they'd gotten that kill as well, it could have been a big swing.
Yeah, Delight also may have gone in a little bit early here as he's taking a lot of damage. Never mind, I underestimated the door. Sometimes that is just a thing that happens. As needlework going to be demonstrated here nicely. Zek's going to return the favor here by taking the inner turret on the top side of the map.
Is Braum balanced?
Not looking like it. I don't know how you stay balanced when you're holding an actual, like, chimney in front of you.
Well,
Seems
he's doing a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Not opting for the kebab skin, though.
That is a pretty good one, though.
Yeah. I will say, though, this trading, I would say, NONGSHIM, the fact that they managed to get 2 towers and the objective bounty, considering HLE are this far ahead, pretty good, all things considered. The goal difference about the same, but, you know, 5,000 means less when everyone's gotten more gold. The game's kind of moved on a little bit more. You can see it's got a bit of objective bounty.
It's about percentage.
Exactly.
You know, so, total gold.
You know what? Things have been dire.
Yeah. You're allowed to cope a little. It's fine.
That was a little bit less dire. You know?
Yeah.
A couple of towers in the bag. Good job, NONGSHIM. You know, they haven't given up yet.
And look, you may have just lost a dragon, but guess what? Didn't lose a team fight as well.
Actually, Gideon has a gold lead.
There
Quickly
you
look
go.
at it before it goes away. Quickly.
Well, Gideon is now going to have to flash to get out of the way of the shockwave. He will be able to at least do that. Rift Herald going to come down and allow this turret to be taken, as Kingen realizing that he is just going to have a terrible time unless he teleports out, and he is going to be able to do that.
I hope you looked at the gold lead because it's gone now.
Yes. No, I did. Believe me, I did. It said 20, something like that. And now it's going to be even, it's going to be a bit redder.
But hey, they're doing the frost map. This is, honestly...
There we go.
This is pretty good from NONGSHIM.
2 towers for 1 so far. Oh, we're realm warping the minions. There we go.
Okay, TP coming in. Gwen not quite doing the damage yet. The Rise especially as well, not that much AP.
All things still going to chase 2 people.
I think NONGSHIM are doing the best of a pretty dire situation.
Yeah, I think they're doing the best they can.
Yeah, they're trying. They're trying something.
Yeah.
You know? And look, it's a Hextech Soul, HLE of 2 dragons. They're probably going to have to fight the third dragon. They're probably just going to get obliterated and the game's going to end there.
Yeah.
But aren't we glad they're giving it a good try?
Exactly. And that's what you like to see. Because it ain't over till it's over. And HLE could just mis-execute. You never really know. As Viper will be able to take away this Raptor camp. Be very happy about that one. Popcorn chicken. And they've got a lot of vision towards the bottom side of the map. Atakan's going to be coming up in 40 seconds time. Likely a place for NONGSHIM to find a final stand.
Oh, okay.
If HLE do start that and they manage to sneak in some vision.
I have even more cope.
Oh, yeah?
NONGSHIM have like 18 petals. HLE only have 10.
Oh my goodness. Imagine the Atakan value in this game.
Yeah, would be crazy.
Insanity. Let's see whether they can make it happen. As HLE are demonstrating that they are a little bit stronger for now. As Gideon clearing some things out. Viper coming on over and will be able to at least get a cheeky Q off onto Gideon. And Delight just going to face check because he can. Throws down the ulti. Gideon getting a back massage, but does have the ulti to keep himself alive. Now the AoE's working. Shockwave lands on it too, though. And immediately the Gwen and the Rel hit the dust. And down goes the Corgi soon after. Viper able to lock down that kill. And, yep, I'm running out of those cope options there, Orcs, as HLE are just looking a little too strong.
Yeah, kind of hard to cross-map a team fight, unfortunately, and they just get shockwave and exploded, and that's what a 5,000 Goldie looks like on display. Gideon ends up ulting pretty late, but they kind of use the Shroud and the ultimate of the Xin Zhao to buy time. The ult comes in, and you're like, hey, they haven't died yet. Oh, then they die. Those things time out, and they are just immediately obliterated, and HLE remind them that they are very far ahead.
And also, like, Zeus' ultimate in that position as well just means that no one else can back them up. The other two are stuck in there. Zeka now has a Magi's Soul Stealer.
Yeah.
With 9 stacks. It's not going too bad. Needs one more stack, though, to feel really good about it. But yeah, then Trigger was slowed down, and he had no way to get out because he was caught right on the edge. Exactly where you don't want to be. And yeah, Peanut now has 2 items. Sundered Sky now completed.
Yeah.
I really like this Orianna build, by the way. I'm really glad that Zeka decided to go for this one. With the Shadow Flame, just feels like on 2 items, you actually do damage.
This is like, I'm going to actually just shockwave one-shot you.
Yeah.
So...
And you can see it's working, because he's up there in the damage numbers.
He is doing the boom-boom damage. In fact, everyone on HD kind of doing the boom-boom damage. Even Delight was pretty up.
Yeah, Delight was higher than Peanut, wasn't he? That was a bit strange.
Yeah, I mean, he's been getting the numbers in. This is the carry ROM we've been waiting to see.
Yeah, he's allowed to max Q this one.
He's justified.
All right, let's see whether HLE can cleanly close this one out. Currently sitting at a 7.5k gold lead, and that is a big gold lead for 22 minutes into the game. And next dragon going to be Hextech Soul Point for HLE as well. To add insult to injury, it is the most devastating soul. And they already have a monopoly on the dragon so far this game. If there's any like doubt in your mind to those watching back home, this game is going to be difficult for NONGSHIM to win.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get across
difficult.
here. I don't know whether I've really stated it enough so far. I would say
before the game, it actually showed us that HLE against NONGSHIM in the past few years,
4.3% chance.
I think 4.3. Yeah, that sounds about right. Maybe a bit generous.
Well, we've got a Cyclone now as Gideon does use the ultimate pretty effectively. Mitigates Viper's damage, and in fact, no one's dead. Massive win!
This is looking like a 4.3% angle.
Oh, that was exactly what they wanted to see. We got a back angle to come on through here for both Delight and for Peanut, but we're running out of ultimates.
Yeah, this is the problem, is that some low H... Oh, whoa, there...
We are... What? Oh, no, Trigger! That was not even his fault! Oh, Calyx, why are we doing this? We're going between worlds, and Zeus is just bouncing around the fight, picks up a triple. Peanut turns up, he's like, what the heck is going on? I guess I'll help my top lane to get a quadra, and there it is for Zeus. Oh, God, I never want to see a roam up like that ever again. That hurt.
Welcome back to the LCK.
Oh, God.
You know what? That might have been a test. Are you along for the ride? Do you follow the call? The call was to get in the realm warp, but he did it.
Is this hazing?
This is hazing. Hazing. You know, this was actually a decent start of the fight, all things considered. They got some good poke back. Trigger hit a big one. And then HLE were like, we're low. We should reset. NONGSHIM are like, this is our best chance, let's not reset. The Realm Warp was on Vision. I think
Oh no!
you know, they committed to the bit, and I think
They
that's
did.
beautiful.
Do you know what I love? I love seeing in chat the one guy that just said, wow, what a throw. I'm like, if you're in a winning position, you can throw. There's nothing throwy about this for NONGSHIM. This game was over a bit longer than this. Let's just say that.
You know what this was? This was Zeka throwing a brick at NONGSHIM
Yeah.
when they were already
Maybe
unconscious on the floor.
maybe that's what they meant. They were
Yeah.
like, oh, what a throw, because Zeka threw them around. As speaking of which, that's another one. The 2-0-12. Oriana here doing pretty well as Kingin just trying to side lane. Zeus is in melee range with the Gwen. Sometimes that's hard, but not this time, as there is a kill for Viper. Just mopping up the Xin Zhao. Crescent Guard not going to be helping him here as Calyx. Where are we? We're winding up the clockwork here, says Zeka. He just needs another combo, and an attempted escape is just not going to happen.
Take the kill, Delight.
Oh, there we go!
Do
That's
the damage.
powered up Q!
You're the carry. You know, I just feel like
He's 2-0-14, he has a better scoreline.
we were going from person to person, and I feel like we were seeing people doing loads of damage. We were seeing, you know, just explosive bursts from so many members, and I'm just glad Delight's getting in it. He's like, yeah, I can do it too. He's just showing up. We
Yep.
have a 25 stack Medjai and Zeka, so he's kind of pumping too.
Yeah, that was on 9 stacks.
Look at him go!
Oh my god, he's kind of alone. The rest of them are now trying to turn up here. Zeus, yeah, bounces to the other side of the world. He's gonna kill Trigger one more time as Delight says, yeah, bring it on. Down to 200 health, not scared at all. Magnetstorm comes in, and then Magnetstorm goes out. Cyclone looking a little bit better than that, as now Gideon gonna get knocked off for the second time. Decides to go back in, because he knew there was no hope. And it's now an 8-0-7 legendary Aurora on the top side of the map as HLE pushed to win this game.
Look, sorry, I don't want to correct you or anything, but you said he's kind of alone. Brom's never alone when he's got his Poros with him.
Oh,
right?
that is actually a really good point. I'm sorry. It's like
Yeah.
saying Bard is alone. That's
Exactly. He
true.
has his backup. This is the Giga Chad Brom. And he's doing his best, right? King and Calyx, they're going to try, but yeah. Actually holding Peanut off a little bit here.
Yeah, taking some needlework. Looking a little bit worried about it. Well, he's not actually looking worried about it. I can't lie. But at least NONGSHIM will be able to clear out this wave. Nexus turret's now in a little trouble.
Wait, Delight?
Yeah, he decided to go back. He's now going to spellbook himself a teleport.
But he
make
just
his way
bought
back to
redemption for the health. He recalled so he can restore everyone else's health. Look at this!
Oh, I thought it was going to be a damage redemption.
Wait, and Peanut missed
didn't,
it!
Yeah, he didn't manage to get in. That was very funny. As Zeus goes between worlds and just does so much damage to everyone. Zeka as well going to help out there as you've got also Viper just tearing them to shreds. There's that shockwave we were waiting for. And HLE, yeah, they make short work of NONGSHIM here in game 1.
Yeah, I mean,